Hope is not a strategy in business. The only way to make really good decisions in business is not with your gut. It's not with your emotion. It's with numbers. You have to have the investor mindset. Welcome to the 7-day weekend. You see, Action Coach's definition of a successful business is a commercial, profitable enterprise that can work without you. How does that sound? Imagine you're in a situation where your business is literally working and growing without you. In other words, you're financially free. You can do what you want, when you want, with whoever you want, as much as you want. In other words, you could phone up the office and say, tomorrow, I'm going away for 12 months. I'll see you next year. So I'm going to share those 6 steps with you in a little bit more detail now so that you can understand what you need to focus on in order to get your business working and growing without you. I've actually taken these steps within my own business to get myself to a business that can work without me. And I want to share those 6 steps with you now so that you can do the same. The first area is mastery, which is all about eliminating chaos. In most businesses that I meet, there's a lot of chaos going on. So mastery is about grabbing hold of that chaos and turning it completely into a business that is under control. And there's 4 key steps in the mastery process as well. Step number 1 is destination mastery. You see, many of us don't even set out with clear, concise goals as to what we want to achieve, both personally and in our business life. Now, why would personal goals be of importance in your business life? Well, I think you'll agree with me. Most of us go into business to get a better life, not to have the life sucked out of us. So of course we've got to have some personal goals, because otherwise how is the business going to deliver on those personal goals? You can be 10 out of 10 on destination mastery if you've got clearly written 10, 5, 3 and 1 year goals for you, your family and your business. Also, you need to have a plan as to how you're going to achieve those goals as well. Most business owners that I meet have never even created a business plan, or if they have, it stayed in the bottom drawer after the very first time they took it to the bank to try and get finance. What we need to have a clearly defined set of intermediate targets as well as longer term targets. In fact, we need short-term goals, medium-term goals, and long-term goals. So you're 10 out of 10 if you are working from a 90-day business plan. Also, you've got to have a vision. You've got to have a vision and a mission and a culture statement for your business as well. If you're going to inspire, enroll and engage the major stakeholders for your business, being your team and also your customers, they've got to know what you're all about and where you're going. So that's destination mastery. Let's put that to one side and look at the next step, which is time mastery. Crazy. We only have 168 hours a week each. And most of us have only been given 4,000 hours on 4,000 weeks, I should say, on this planet. A wise man once said to me, Stuart, when you've spent your last penny, you can make more money. When you've spent your last minute on this earth, you can't get a single second of it back. And that is so true. So how we invest our time in our business is as important, if not more important, than how we invest our money. You see, how much time are you spending working in your business? In other words, doing the day-to-day, being on the hamster wheel, in comparison to actually working on your business. I'd like you to think of working on your business almost like writing the book of your business. Remember, J.K. Rowling, when she wrote the first book in the Harry Potter series, she wasn't being paid an hourly rate for writing the book, right? And actually, she was a single mum, and from what I've heard, she wasn't earning any money at the time at all. In fact, I've heard tell that she actually wrote the first book, The Philosopher's Stone, in a cafe because it was freezing cold at home and it was warmer in the cafe to write the book. And you and I might have seen her at that time and said, why is she writing a book? Why didn't she just go and get a job? Well, you see, the challenge was she had this burning desire to write the book, like you probably have a burning desire to be successful in business. And nothing was going to stop her from writing that book. But here's the question. What do you reckon the hourly rate was for writing a Harry Potter series now? It's immense. It's probably millions of pounds per hour. I don't know, but it's got to be a really, really hefty hourly rate. And see, that's the same as working on your business. The work that you do on your business is so much more valuable than the work that you do in your business. You could pay somebody else to do that stuff. You just need to concentrate on the business owner stuff. So make sure that you're working more on your business than in your business, or at least working 4 or 5 hours a week on your business. So chunk by chunk, step by step, you can get that business finished. In other words, systemized so that it can work without you. Next, we have to master our delivery to our customers. You see, I hear this far too often where business owners will say, nobody else does it as good as me, so I can't delegate. Well, you know what? If you carry around the stuff, the good stuff about the delivery to your customers around in your head, and you never write it down, then guess who always has to do it? You see, you might believe that you are the best at delivery, but is that really true? Is it possible that you could take out all the good stuff, the skills, the expertise, the knowledge you have in your head and create a system so that all of your team members will deliver it consistently and as well as you do? Now, delivery mastery for me is as much about consistent communication with your target market, consistent communication with your customers, as it is how you do the stuff that you do. The fourth key area to master in your business is financials. In fact, it's the cornerstone of every business. A lot of people say to me, but Stuart, you know what? I'm not great with numbers. I'm not really a numbers person. Well, you know what? You've got to get over that stuff because business is a numbers game. I'm not suggesting you need to be qualified like an accountant or an AAT bookkeeper in terms of actually getting the numbers together. But you have a responsibility as a business owner to at least know enough about your numbers, to at least master them enough so that you can make great decisions about the way your business is moving forward. You see, financial mastery has two main elements to it: budgeting and reporting. Reporting is basically looking in the rear view mirror as if you were driving a car. It's looking in the rear view mirror to check where you've come from. The only two reasons to go back into the past are to learn from it and to give you confidence. In other words, if it's not working quite as well as it should be, learn from it and make adjustments going forward. If it is going as well as it could be, it's going to give you confidence that your plan is actually working. And the second key area, the budgeting, that's about forecasting. So have you got cash flow forecasts for at least 3 to 6 months, profit and loss forecasts for at least 12 months in your business? So you're actually planning your business growth instead of just sticking your finger in the air and hoping. Hope is not a strategy in business. The only way to make really good decisions in business is not with your gut. It's not with your emotion. It's with numbers. Numbers help you make objective decisions in business. So give yourself a mark out of 10 as to how well you are mastering your finances. Do you do monthly management accounts? Do you understand a balance sheet? Do you always look at your profit and loss account? Do you have a profit and loss forecast, a cash flow forecast? Have you got a key performance indicator dashboard in your business that you're using to make objective decisions? The next level when we move up from mastery that we have to get right is the sales and marketing machine in a business. At the end of the day, what I want you to do as a business owner is to develop a mindset of an investor. Now imagine I had a machine here in front of me now, and I said, for every time you put £1 in that machine, it's going to give you £10 back. How many pounds would you put in that machine? Yes, you're right. All of them. In other words, you would have an unlimited budget to put into that machine. And that's what investing in sales and marketing is all about. Niche is really, to me, it's all about predictability and cash flow. The opposite to that is to have a situation where your cash is going up and down, where you haven't actually got any kind of predictability in there at all. Now, cash comes from profit. So you've got to make profit in the first place in order to be able to generate cash. And through the niche level, we've got to have the voice of your business. And the voice of your business is what makes you different. In other words, what some people call the unique selling proposition. And if your proposition isn't unique, for example, we give great customer service, which is exactly what all your competitors are going to say. If it's not unique, then what are you prepared to do to guarantee that you give great customer service? Because a guarantee can elevate you to a unique selling proposition. So often you'll find that a guarantee will replace a unique selling proposition or at least make it stronger. Next, we need to know how many leads we've got coming in. We need to know where those leads are coming from. We need to know how much it's costing us to acquire those leads, and more than that, how much it's costing us to acquire our customers, so that we understand if we're getting a return on investment in our marketing. You see, if you're not testing and measuring your marketing, then again, it's a finger in the air. You probably heard somebody once said, I know that half of my advertising is working, but I just don't know which half. Well, we've got to be better than that. We've got to be able to know exactly how many leads we've got coming in, where they're coming from, what's working, what's not working, how much it's costing us to buy customers, and how much those customers are worth to us for the lifetime of the journey that they have with us. That's the only way to understand if you've got a return on investment in your marketing. So give yourself a mark out of 10. How good are you at testing and measuring your marketing right now? The next area is sales. Now, this is an area that I find amazing when I ask business owners to tell me, have they got any training, any idea as to how to sell? Most business owners that I speak to don't even like selling because they've got this idea of the slimy, double glazing salesperson or the second-hand car dealer, and that's their idea of what selling is about. So they avoid it like the plague. But actually, sales is really more about a transference of belief, a transference of feeling. In other words, you putting your arm around the person that is buying your product and service and assisting them to buy something that not only do they want, but they actually need. Now, if you understand how to do this correctly, your conversion will go through the roof. You see, what we're looking for is to convert as many of those leads that you've invested in into paying clients, paying customers. But we want the right customers. We don't want anyone. We don't need to work with anyone and everyone. We just need to work with a nice, thin niche of our marketplace. A niche that actually loves what we do and is prepared to pay for it, never going to quibble over your prices, always pay you on time, and refer you all to their lovely friends and family as well. So how good are you at measuring your conversion rate? How good are you at actually introducing new strategies to improve your conversion rate? Next, we need to make sure that our average order value is being measured as well, because that's an area that you can improve with tons of different strategies. Your average order value could go up by increasing the number of services that you offer or the number of products that you offer and getting people to buy more every time they transact with you, or just putting your prices up. Many business owners I meet do not value their products and services anywhere near highly enough because they're worried about their conversion rate. They're worried that if they're too expensive, they won't make sales. But if we taught you how to make sales and keep your average order value high, what would that be worth to your business? The next area to focus on is the number of transactions. You see, it's 6 times cheaper to work with an existing client or existing customer database than it is to acquire new clients. And yet most of us are woefully poor at keeping in touch with our customers on a regular basis, asking them if they are interested in other products and services that we offer, offering them special offers and incentives to come back and buy from us over and over again. How good are you at staying in touch with your current database? And how good are you at maximizing the number of transactions you get from every customer that you work with? Maybe that's an area of focus for you. And the last area and niche to look at is margin. Probably one of the most important things. The bit that's left over after everyone else has been paid. And unless we're making a decent margin, we haven't got money to reinvest in our business. A lot of people say that profit is the bottom line, but actually cash really is the number one key performance indicator in a business. But we need to know, what are the most profitable areas of our business? Where are the areas of profit drain within our business? We need to understand all the true profit margins within our business, so again, we can make objective decisions about what's working, what's not working, what could be working better, and maybe come up with some ideas of new things that we haven't tried before. Now, across all of those areas, we at ActionCOACH have more than 400 different strategies that we will use with business owners to make incremental improvements. Watch one of my other videos about the 5 key drivers to profits to understand how to utilize those strategies to make massive increases in your bottom line. I show you in that video how to make a minimum of 61% extra profit over a 6 to 12 month period, and then how to take that to over a 7-year period as much as 3,200%. So don't miss out on watching that video to get those great tips as well. Next, if we're going to get a business that's got a chance of starting to work without us, we've got to systemize it. Now, for me, leverage is about all sorts of things. It's about dividing things down into its component parts to multiply. It's about ever more with ever less. In other words, ever more results with ever less effort. Think about it. That's what a lever is there for. And the final thing on leverage is do the work once and get paid forever. And leverage is one of my favorite words now, because the more you can leverage your time, the more that you can leverage your business, the more, and the more money you can make in the less time. So there are 4 key areas to leverage within a business. Number 1, systems and technology. Now, what are the routine tasks within a business that we can automate? These days, there's so many apps, so many different pieces of technology, so much software that you could be using within your business that can really start to automate it. Second area is people and education. Such an important part of the business. You see, when you've created great systems within your business, and let's face it, 80% of a business is its systems, and only 20% of the business is humanized for exception. So if we can systemize that business really well, then guess what? Instead of catching people doing things badly, we can catch people doing things really well. You know, when something goes wrong within your business, don't look for a person improvement. Look for a system improvement. Always ask yourself the question, what can I do to improve the system to make it easier for them or to obliterate these mistakes from ever happening again? The next is delivery and distribution. Again, this goes into your workflow charts, your how-to files, systemizing things into checklists, videos, audio, screen grabs. All of that stuff will mean that your delivery is consistent and consistently good. And the last area to focus on in leverage is testing and measuring, the 2 most important parts in business. Somebody once said, you know what? You can't manage what you don't measure. And how right were they? If you're not measuring something in your business and it's going wrong, how do you expect to be able to manage it? So the area of systemization of testing and measuring is making sure that anything that needs improvement, and let's hope that's constant and never-ending improvement within your business, needs to first of all be measured and tested so that you can make objective decisions moving forward with how you make those improvements. We come to the most important area. If you want a business that has got a chance of working without you, you've got to have a great team of people around you. The 4th step to financial freedom within a business, one of the most important ones, if not the most important one. In fact, you will never achieve a business that works without you if you don't get this bit right. The team. This was a game changer for me. You see, when I first went into business, like many business owners, my number 1 focus was getting customers, and it was looking after those customers. And then when I got busy, I would take team members on in order to support me in my endeavor of looking after customers. That's what I thought the team were there for. In fact, I used to in those days call them staff, which is like a support, isn't it? It's staff of wood supports you in your endeavor to do something. What flipped my mind around was when Action Coach taught me that the only cycle that works in business is the business owner needs to focus on making sure the team get their needs and their goals met, not the customers. And then it's the team's responsibility to make sure that the customers get their goals and needs met. Then it's the customer's responsibility, if you like, to look after the business, and then the business looks after the business owner. So in the area of team, we need to make sure that first and foremost, we've got a great recruitment system. Because I think you'll agree with me, it starts with making the right hires. I often hear people say, you know what? You just can't get a good team. My team are rubbish. My team aren't up to it. My team aren't performing. Well, the only answer to that is, did you recruit badly or just manage them badly? Truth is, you are responsible. So you've got to make sure that you do the recruitment bit right. Are great recruiters born or are they made? Well, think about that. When your firstborn was brought to you, the midwife didn't say, hey, look, you've got a lovely recruiter. Not at all. Recruiters are made, not born. We need to understand all the intricacies of how do we recruit well. Here at Action Coach, we have the most amazing world-class recruitment system that we implement with all of our clients. And for me, when I was an Action Coach client, it was a game changer. There's nothing like it on this planet. We need to make sure that our recruitment is right and our retention is great too. So you recruit in order to retain, but you need to train. See, some people say, well, actually, you know what? I don't really want to train my team because they might leave. Brad Sugars, I remember him standing up and saying, well, if you don't train them, they might stay. We need to make sure that not only are we recruiting and retaining, but we're training really well as well. So what development do you have for your team? You need to make sure that the environment is right for them to be doing things well. Role really as a manager is support and challenge. We need to support our team to make sure that they've got all the tools to do their jobs well, and we need to challenge them to hold them accountable to the key activity indicators and key performance indicators that all of them should have. When it comes to team, there's no better way to approach it than you win, I win. And if you can set your stall out from the very beginning that you're going to make sure that your team win, you will get discretionary behavior and your business can then start to run and grow without you. So let's leave team and then move up to the next level, because once we've got our team working, operating great systems that are simple for them to do, and they've been trained on them, on a sales and marketing machine that gives you predictability in your cash flow, predictability in your profit generation, on a bedrock of mastery, now your business is starting to really motor. You're not finished yet, because you need not just a team, but you need a management team as well. So you need, in order to be able to actually step back from the business, someone's got to be in charge, someone's got to look after it. So the next level is what we call synergy. In other words, 1 + 1 doesn't have to equal 2, but can equal 3, 4, 5, 6, or even more. This is now the well-oiled machine that your business ought to be and that you deserve. At that level, that's when you start to train up a general manager or a managing director. Listen, for most of us, we wear 2 hats at least in a business. We are the managing director of the business and we are the shareholder. Well, at synergy level, you start to concentrate more on the shareholder hat, the investor hat, where you're cash flowing more money than you need to live on and you're reinvesting it in your business and other areas. You're now in a situation where, as the shareholder, you have the privilege to be able to choose the managing director to run your business. And what's really satisfying is sacking yourself as managing director and employing somebody better than you to do the job. Now you have all the time and the money to do everything that you want to with your life. And this is the final step in the 6 steps process. And it's the step that we call massive results. In other words, now you are financially free. You can do what you want with whoever you want, as much as you want. And what you might want to do is, instead of getting 30% growth on your business, you might want to multiply the growth of your business 30 times. That's right. At this stage, you could be buying competitors. You could be opening up other branches around the UK or around the world, if you like. You could franchise your business, license your business, or even go into other businesses if you like. Because let me ask you this. If you've learned how to successfully create a business that works without you once, how many times could you do it? That's right, unlimited. You see, the learning process is the ultimate leverage. You only need to learn something once and you've got it forever. So now you're into that growth phase. You can do whatever you want. And I would recommend as well that you start looking at that extra cash that you're producing, investing it into other things outside of your business, other income generating assets that give you also security to know that you're always going to have a passive income, like property, for example. In future videos, I'm going to be sharing some tips with you on that as well. So that's the what you need to know in order to get your business growing and working without you. In future videos, I'm going to be drilling into these areas and showing you the nuts and bolts of how to do this stuff. What I'd like you to do is, if you've enjoyed this video, share it with as many business owners as you possibly can. My goal is to help 10,000 business owners achieve financial freedom, and I can only do that with your help. I promise you, I make a commitment to give you loads of great content, and all I'm asking for in return is that you share it with as many business owners as you possibly can so that we can all benefit. The vision set by Brad Sugars, who started ActionCOACH many years ago, is world abundance through business re-education. I believe, like you probably do too, that business is a force for good. The more businesses that do well, the more profits that are created, the more money that goes back into the system, the more jobs that are created. That's what we call world abundance. So we have to help each other here, right? And if you've liked what you've seen here today, I've got loads of great content coming up for you in future videos. So please subscribe and come back for more. Thanks a lot and have a great 7-day weekend. About how to create a more profitable, easier to run business. Shit, that's really crap. It's all right. I thought I knew what I was going to say. Okay, here we go.